Okay, so we'll start. So we'll continue from where we had left. So before we proceed, again, we have a quick recap of what we had learned. So your concept number 1 was digital audit. And the concept number 2 is your identification and assess the risk. Okay, which includes your IT dependency, cyber risk. So the concept number 3 is your emerging technology in audit. So what are the emerging technologies we are speaking? So primarily we spoke about the data analytics, which is nothing but called a CAT. So which all those ACL, command language, which is for extraction. You have got Asterix, which is for your workflow. Power BI, which is the dashboard. Caseware, document management. Okay, so these are all the tools we had learned. Then we spoke about second thing, your AI. Primarily, we talk about the decision making. Then we spoke about the blockchain. Blockchain is the chain with a distributed ledger. Okay, so then we spoke about the Internet of Things, where every devices are connected. Now, in the blockchain, we were discussing, because all the points were very simple points, non-fungible token. See, fungible means replaceable. Non-fungible token is what? A representation. That means you are going to represent something, and NFT is a form of your blockchain only. Okay, so what is NFT? It means unique and it cannot be replaceable. That's why we call it non-fungible. Now, unlike the physical money, okay, and cryptocurrencies are fungible. That means they can be traded, they can be exchanged with one another. NFTs are non-fungible tokens. That means tokens means they represent something. So you can create something like representing, and it is not replaceable, unique in itself. So NFT contains the digital signature, which makes it very unique. So what you can do, you can convert your every assets can be digital assets, like your photos, videos, artwork, sports collection, land, everything. Like what happens now to today's students? See, I have got a land. How do I sell it to you? How do I sell the land ownership to you? It's simple. First thing, this is me, this is you. First you ask me, what is the ownership for this land? So I will come up with the document. See, tomorrow the ownership is transferred to you by transfer of this document, and you say you are the owner of this land. So how the ownership got transferred? Because we entered into an agreement. So that agreement gave a reference to the original agreement from which I must have got it. And we registered that agreement in another server. Yes, you got the ownership. See, what if, and I need a middleman now, because somebody has to confirm that ownership has got transferred. Who is this? ROC, registrar, or the government authority. See, in case of non-fungible token, what is going to happen? Instead of I have got a physical record, okay, that Pahani document, my sketch and RTC and all, I will have one token, which is a crypto token. That crypto token will represent this particular land, say 5 cents of land. Tomorrow, I can easily transfer this 5 cents of land to you. Whoever owns it, they are the owner. And it is already recorded. This transaction is also recorded in the blockchain. Nice, no? If this is going to happen, it is fantastic. That means I can just buy anything. I can buy anybody's, like any art, any stamp collections, car, anything I can buy. Because for every assets, no, instead of we are having the say physical copy of record, like today there is a car. What is the proof that I am the owner of it? RC. Imagine this RC is going to come in the form of a digital token. That is called a non-fungible token. And since I am going to put a digital signature, this record shows me that this asset belongs to me. So the tokens are used to represent the ownership of the unique item. They allow the creators to tokenize things like art, convertibles, real estate, etc. And they are secured by the blockchain. So no one can change the ownership now. That means once I have become the owner, it is very permanent. See, otherwise what happens? For land, somebody can steal my car. They can create one fake RC, and through that they can sell. On my land, when I am not here, I am abroad, my land can be sold to somebody else by creating fake documents. But the moment I tokenize this piece of land or my car, that nobody can sell it, because my car ownership is represented by this token. I hope students this is clear to you. Now, what are the key features? One, you will have a digital asset. That means instead of a physical record, RC, you have got one 0 and 1 digital record. But that digital record is created with the digital signature cryptography and supported by blockchain. Blockchain we already discussed in the earlier session. So NFT is a digital asset that represents the internet collectible like art, music, games, etc. with authentic certificate created by the blockchain technology using the cryptocurrency. It cannot be forced, it cannot be manipulated. That means tomorrow if you have got any NFT with you representing some asset, it means that you are the true owner of that asset. Somebody cannot create a fake document for it. So people will stop asking for RC document. They say, where is your NFT? I want to buy this car. And transaction becomes very easy. I will transfer online to you. You transfer me Bitcoin. Chalo, car became mine. Because I became the owner. Because the commercial transaction happened there. Not so formalities. That's why your blockchain is going to avoid such intermediaries like government, banks. Exchange, NFT exchanges takes place with the cryptocurrencies such Bitcoin on the specialist side. That means I can easily sell it. That means, see students, after you have got a demat form of shares, did you not get a liquidity to your shares? If you want tomorrow, just now, right now, you can sell your shares. With the T+2, you got a settlement. Just like what was share? It was once upon a time, it was also a token. The share certificate is also a token, but it was in a physical form. When the share certificate was in a physical form, it was very difficult. I need intermediaries to trade. But since it is in a demat form, see how it is comfortable, how much liquidity we are enjoying. But that liquidity we are not enjoying for land, for car, for our art. So the day when we dematerialize it, we do one token, yes, that day we get the flexibility for this also. We are going to witness in upcoming days. Now, what is the challenge? The challenge will be there like ownership and copyright concerns. Market is not that wide, security risk can be there, and market can be very limited because people may not understand this. Online frauds can happen. And NFT audit consideration includes comprehensive code review and potential cyber threat. Yes, they can ask you this question for the exam, NFT specifically. You can mark it as important. Now, there was a bank, XYZ Bank, headquartered in New York. Now, it offers a range of financial services, including asset management, commercial banking, investment banking. Okay, this is something like ICICI Bank or HDFC Bank. Now, 5 Indian banks in partnership with XY Bank. Now, XY is the foreign New York bank. 5 Indian banks comes together to provide a range of banking services and products encompassing retail, corporate, international banking, and all these banks have significant contributors to the digitization of the banking services in India, like HDFC, ICICI, etc. Now, under this pilot program, what these banks are doing, Indian banks will open on-chain Nostro accounts. What do you mean by on-chain? On-chain means blockchain. That means it's a blockchain technology based. Today, it is not a blockchain. Now, Nostro account means dollar account. That means this is the US this thing. ICICI Bank account will open $1 account. That is called a Nostro. When they open rupee account, it is called a Vostro. So, blockchain based system is expected to facilitate now 24/7 settlement, and it has become very easy. It will create a private intra correspondent banking network, and we can see that seamlessly you are able to transfer the money, and you're working in a blockchain technology. Nobody is going to change it. See, no frauds like your Niro Modi and going to happen, because whenever you do any transaction, everybody will come to know. Everybody's distributed ledger gets updated. Okay, so simply they said one case study. Now, following are the illustrative steps in performing audit about the above said blockchain. So they may ask you this in the examination. So they can give the same case study there. Now, how do you audit such bank account, which is a on-chain bank account or a blockchain based technology? Yes, first you need to obtain a comprehensive understanding about the blockchain based pilot program. What is the objective, scope, processes? Review the partnership agreement contracts, like understand what is SLA, what is the relationship between these banks. Identify the specific blockchain technology. We already seen like blockchain technology is more like an application. What all is functionalities? What all the smart contracts? Now assess the internal controls. Once you have understood the environment, see, these are all, I can say, understanding of the entity and environment. So you understood the technology, you understood the agreement, you understood the scope of the project. Then you speak about the internal controls. Now you review the policy of the settlement processes, money transfers, what is the governance framework, have they all gone for NIST? Then you review the security measures, assess the encryption method. Any 5 or 6 points you can remember soon. That's sufficient. What measures they have taken, or what controls they have put for unauthorized access, cyber threats, that you are going to check. Now, after you have understood entity and the control, now you will go for the test of transaction. Now you are in SA 330. You test the transaction validity and accuracy. You see whether the settlement is happening properly. Reconciliations are required because on-chain nostro accounts with the corresponding held bank accounts. That's it. Then you check for compliance with the regulatory requirement, SA 250. Review the documentations of customer due diligence. Okay, check whether FEMA compliance is happening, industry-specific standards are applicable. Check the business continuity and disaster recovery. This is part of your general IT control, GITC. See whether the adequate backup they are taking. Report and find the recommendation. This is your SA 700. So, if you ask, it's very easy. You can write in your own language also. Now, they can give the similar case there. Now, they may ask you, how do you audit this blockchain technology? Simple. First, you speak about the understanding. What type of technology it is. Okay, what all its functionalities. What type of agreement do you have? Then, what type of controls you have established? How do you prevent unauthorized access? Then, if the transactions are properly getting posted, are you complying with the regulatory? Then you report. That's it. I hope it's fine, students. Easy, right? Any doubts are there? You can please ask me. If you are not clear with any of these topics, you can ask me. Yes. So next we will go for the robotic process automation. See, we are talking about the emerging technology. In the previous section, we spoke about data analytics. Then these are all emerging technology only, but they gave the heading called automated tools. AI, Internet of Things, blockchain, and blockchain includes NFT. Okay, next is your robotic process automation. As I already told you, RPA. RPA is nothing but a program, an instruction. It is not a robot, it's not a physical entity. You see, truck, lorry, air conditioner, these are all robots. These are all machines which will do physical tasks. But the RPA, we are talking about a software inside a computer which will do the intellectual, the process work. Now, what is the difference between this and the macro? This can go into any applications. That's the only difference. Now, RPA is the automation of the repetitive process. It is a software technology. Please understand. Please understand. It is a software, not an hardware. It is just a program. It is an instruction which will emulate humans' actions interacting with the digital systems and the softwares. That means how humans will do the physical, like calculations, totaling, okay, drawing, visualization, such type of activities is going to do. It's going to do digital activities, not physical activities. RPS won't carry you. RPS will do the information processing. I hope that part is clear. Now, the robotic process automation software, or they are also called a bot, can interact with any application. That means it can talk to SAP, website, Tally, Excel, any application, or the same, or the system the same way people do. That means whatever job a human being is sitting and doing in front of a computer, tomorrow you are going to see one ghost computer itself is doing. There is no human being in front of it, but computer is doing its job. Now, RPA bots can operate round the clock, 24/365, non-stop, much faster and 100% reliable and precise. Now, they have given you one case study. Let us go through this case study. Let us try to understand about this case study. Now, a large passenger carrier is having AI bot. See, this is different. Bot is something which will do the repetitive task, but it cannot take decisions. But AI bot having the body of a bot, it will do the task, but it can think also, it can decide also. So what they are implementing? They are implementing AI bot, which has got the quality of AI also. It has got the quality of RPA also for passenger ticket booking with the following processes. Okay, so there is a passenger carrier and they have brought one bot for passenger ticket booking. Interactions. What is going to happen? They interact with the passengers through various channels like website, mobile app. Do you have any example? Yes, you go to railway. Okay, you have no one railway. That one lady is there on the at the bottom, so you can talk to her, or you can go to Air India Express flight ticket booking. You see there is one chatbot. Everybody has got one name they have given to their chatbot. Okay. So now, how the user interaction is going to happen? It can happen through website, app, or messaging platforms like WhatsApp. Now, passengers can initiate a conversation. Simply, they can tell, I want to book a ticket. Then chatbot will provide all the travel details, preferences. It will ask you a question. Okay, what type of this thing you want? Do you want air conditioned or non-air conditioned? Do you want a meal plan? So it will ask you a certain set of questions. Now, natural language processing. Now, how the bot is able to understand your conversation, because the user is talking in a very layman language, in an English. That's why they use the natural language processing technique to understand and interpret the passenger queries. And this is called LLM, large language model of AI. So when somebody is going to design this bot, they will connect it to the large language model of ChatGPT or Claude, so that this chatbot can understand the conversations. So it can process the text, voice, inputs and extract relevant information which is required for ticket booking. Maybe it can ask you, give the photo of your Aadhaar card because I need the name as per your Aadhaar card. Then whenever it is given, see what you give one photo, it extracted relevant information from that. Why? It is intelligent. It's connected with the LLM. Then query handling, the bot responds to the passenger queries related to the availability, fare, schedules, etc. It can provide real-time update and it can help through the booking also. It collects all the necessary informations, destination, class, etc. Calculates the fare, pricing, and it says, okay, do you want to proceed further? This is the price. If yes, it will book it, it will give you. It will give you one QR code. You see, students, today, if this was not there, what was your process? You must have booked the railway ticket. You must have booked the bus ticket. So you had to follow certain set of processes. First of all, you try from and to destination. I guess look for something, select the ticket, select the train, type your name, and go on. There is one captcha comes, you solve the captcha. Another captcha comes, solve that. See, it will take so much time. Instead, how beautiful it is if you simply talk to a chatbot. Chatbot will give you that option on whichever day, whatever you wanted to travel. You give your, say, Aadhaar card copy. It will pick the data. It will give you one scan copy. You take you make the payment. Your ticket booking is done. Okay, such type of chatbot they have implemented. Now, they have integrated with the booking system. They will not only talk to you, the moment the payment is done, the interface with the interface. See, I told you, this is one of the application interface with the carrier's booking system to check the seat availability now. Reserve the seats and process the payment. Okay, maybe who is this? Whose case they must be talking? They must be talking about makemytrip.com, who don't have their own carriers. Like bus ticket, train ticket, anything they can book, but they will not book. They don't have their own carrier. Instead, the moment you say, okay, please book it, their interface will talk to the carrier's booking system, because it should not happen that two people have booked the same seats. They look into the availability and immediately block it. It securely communicates with the backend system. Then payment processing is going to happen. The bot facilitates the payment transactions, allowing passengers to provide the payment details and integrate with the payment gateway. So it will talk to the payment gateway. Now, confirmation and ticket generation, it provides the passengers with all the necessary information along with the ticket. It can provide ancillary services, like it asks you, do you want a meal? Do you want an upgrade? Do you want a travel insurance? It can provide you that also. And post-booking support, suppose you want to reschedule, you want to cancel, okay, it can help you with that. So, integration with the customer support. The bot can be integrated with the customer system to for complex queries and issues to human agent. That means sometimes your bot may not be able to answer something. So what it can do, it can collect your email ID and give to the human being so that they can address your issue. So these are all the functionalities have been installed by that say makemytrip.com. So their AI bot is going to talk, it's going to book it, it's going to send the information to the carrier, it's going to collect the money, talk to the gateway, okay, provide you support, they can help you to cancel. Now, what are the steps of auditing ticket booking bot system? See, this is very similar to the previous case where we have seen that how do you audit a blockchain system? That they said no, 5 Indian banks were there, 1 US company, on-chain Nostro account was used. Students, any 5 points you remember from this? How do you audit the ticket booking bot? So they can ask you this question also. First of all, identify the scope of auditing the IRCTC train booking bot. Okay, so they said here IRCTC. Now determine the scope of the audit, bot functionality. Okay, like what that bot is all about, what all the things it's going to do, what is included in the scope. Is it permitting refund? So you can write this. Check the regulatory and compliance standards, data protection and privacy regulations, because you are giving your Aadhaar card, you should not share. This is also very similar to your blockchain. Identify and assess the potential risk associated. This also you can tell. Comprehensive set of audit procedures has to be designed. Review the architecture, security measures, test the functionality. There, test the blockchain technology. Here, test the bot functionality. Examine the data handling process. Okay, any 5 points you can do, students. They have given some 20 points. Conduct the professional standards audit, document your findings, provide recommendation. You can write this point also, because ultimately you have to report, compile the audit findings in a comprehensive report. So I can say that this and your bot, what is that called, blockchain contents are very similar. So any of these 5 or 6 points you can study, you can note down. And I suggest you select those points which is similar to your blockchain, so that you can remember and you can quote. What is the audit implication? Because every time we are doing same thing, we are talking about a technology, we talk about the audit implication and we talk about the risks. Now, what are the audit implication? First of all, it is very important for you to understand the RPA process. Check the source code or the configurations, because it can be wrong, then your entire processes are wrong. Perform substantive tests. Auditors must have an understanding of the tools used to review log, configuration controls, etc., and check the general IT controls. Okay, same out of these 4, no, pick any 4 and write. These are all your audit considerations you need to do. Next, what are the common risks? Operation and execution risk. Now, robots are deployed or bots are deployed without proper operating model. Now, what it can do, buying wrong tool, making wrong assumptions, taking shortcuts, and it can jeopardize the security and compliance. So this is one of the big problem, because if you are not properly thought about bot, see, it can post 80,000 fake transactions, which humans won't do it. But bots are capable to execute huge volume of transactions. That's why one of the risk is your operational risk. They can take certain shortcuts because they are AI based. AIs will decide on its own. They see that if this is the shortest and easiest way, they will take that route, because they are working on an optimization basis. Change management risks are there, because not following the change management implementation. What is change management risk? That suppose if any changes comes, you remember, students, I gave an example that ATM machine, you wanted to remove the source code, you told your friend, then there is a process, right? That's called a change management process. So it will start with the user will go to the HOD will give a request will be approved by the IT head, he will start working, development server, then it is moved to quality server, quality to testing, unit test, integration test, then basis will approve, then move to product. This entire process is called a change management process. So you are installing any bot, and tomorrow if you want to make any changes, if you have to follow that management process, not following the change management, okay, it may result into inaccurate results. And RPA strategy risk, like setting wrong expectations, improve KPIs and unrealistic business goals, creates environment uncertainty, because the RPS also have got certain limitations. So you need to understand those limitations. See, exam January, they have already asked here. We'll see what is that questions they have asked. Okay, we can ignore that particular part. Now, enterprise are adopting emerging technologies at a rapid pace to create synergies. Okay, so this is the keyword, emerging technology. From this only you should understand this is concept number 3, chapter number 12. Now, give 3 examples of automated tools. See, they are not asking your data analytics here. They are asking for the second para, automated tools used as part of the emerging technology along with the risk and audit consideration. So you have to tell one risk, one audit consideration, because they asked for 3 examples. So this will come for say 5 marks. Now they recently integrated several Internet of Things. See, this is the keyword. Enabled services into production, including connected equipment, smart inventory, etc. They created new flows, automated control, third-party service providers. Identify the key audit implications from Internet of Things and outline the procedures you are going to perform. State common risks of Internet of Things. See, here in this case, no, you have to write only about Internet of Things. Here, any 3 you can pick and you can write one line. But here you have to write sufficient enough to fetch full marks. Now, company recently started blockchain technology. Again, same story. They will write about the blockchain. They are concerned with the private key, etc. What is common risk associated? Discuss the probable audit implications. Same story. So, what is Internet of Things? You will explain connected devices. What are the key components? Data collection, analytics. Example you can give, common risk and its audit implication. Anyone you can give. But if it's a full question, then you have to write full. Then artificial intelligence, because they asked any 3. So you tell what is artificial intelligence, give an example, any one common risk and 1 or 2 audit implications. Blockchain, what is blockchain? Some examples of blockchain, common risks associated with the blockchain and audit implications with the blockchain. They didn't tell you the answer, but they said refer para number 7. So in the exam, they can ask you on a standalone basis or they can ask you on everything. I hope it's fine, students. You are able to understand it. Yes, I'll move on. Now, Karan, I marked it as a priority 1. I don't know. Let's see. Karan is a consultant helping one mid-sized company to modernize its operate Internet of Things. Chalo, this is a keyword you catch. The company wants to connect various devices like smartphone, inventory management system, etc. They need to enhance their overall security. However, they are concerned about the potential risk and impact on the audit processes. So, what are the key components, benefits of Internet of Things, risk associated with the implementation and implication in the audit processes? How should the company address these concerns to ensure the smooth transaction? Okay, let's see every element. Describe the key components, benefits, risk, implications, how to address this implication. Okay, the key components includes data analysis, connectivity, people and process. 1 mark. What is Internet of Things? Maybe I don't know, they are not asked you, but you can write. Then the benefits. Okay, so they have given some examples. So they didn't ask for any examples here, but in the previous question they had asked example. They said with the examples you give. Okay, so there you can define the examples if they ask you. Then what is the common risk? Okay, device hijacking, data symphony, denial of services act. 1. Then the next question is your audit implication. So you may have to increase your scope, so and so, consumer facing, so and so. Now, what was the last question here? How should the company address these concerns to ensure a smooth transition? Okay, have they given the answer here? How should they address? No, it doesn't look like. Okay, see, first of all, implication on the audit processes they have seen. Okay, let us go back. Let us check here only in the study material, because I think every aspects of study material they have written. Okay, first of all, what is it? What are the key components? Example, audit implications, scoping of new system, upskilling, consumer efficiency, and the common risk. Okay, so what is that they are asking here? How should the company address this concern to ensure smooth transition? Okay, let me check it, students, because I don't find any answers they have given here. Okay, let me check that. Yes. Next, you test your understanding three question. Company is planning to use robotic process automation. Okay, specifically they are asking about RPA. They want to implement, use. Earlier, company used to hire the campuses of various management institute, high recruitment cost. Okay, they were hiring from the campus interview. Inefficient higher yield and the resultant lack of diversity. How RPA can be used to automate the hiring process? Yes, so RPA, this is a nice question which is not there in the study material. So you can place advertisements automatically, redirect the candidate to a career site if anybody asks. Now career site can gather that information. Algorithm can scan through the application, select the candidates, asked to play some games to assess their skills, and a certain percentage of those applications will be called for video interview. That means majority of the task which a human being would have done, like calling, talking, processing the data, a RPA is going to do this, a computer is going to do it, and they will give you a crisp list of people with whom you need to have an interview. Now list the tentative steps so that you have written. What could be the benefit of RPA in hiring process? Okay, so it will reduce the time, energy, effort, etc. Inefficiency will be gone. Let's see one examination question. Everest Beverage has recently implemented RPA to reduce the manual error. The company has deployed bots in the key area like invoice processing, payroll, purchase order, resulted in significant savings. As a statutory auditor of Everest Beverage, discuss the key audit implications and common risk. Okay, straightforward question, huh? Very easy, simple question. So your audit implication, you can write here. They need to understand the process. They need to have a comprehensive process, assurance process, and perform substantive testing. Common risk includes your operations and execution, change management risk, and RPA strategy risk. Okay, you can develop too much of expectation from the RPAs. Yes, students. So this question, the RPA question has already come for the exam, and you see, how easy question it was. Straightforward question. They are not what is that called? Creating any confusion only. Simply, it is a memory-based question you have to write here. So you may have to study that. The next one. Okay, RTP May 24, question number 23. So 21 will come back, 22, 23. Now, certain studies have suggested increase in the cyber attack, rise in the global processing cost, hit the global banking and finance industry. Therefore, industries are going to place reliance on new technology like blockchain. Okay, this time the question is focusing on the blockchain. Each transaction is validated by the blockchain. However, such technology is having weakness also. What is common risk for blockchain and what is audit implications? Okay, straightforward question. If at all this question is going to come. So first you explain what is blockchain. Then you can talk about its like strength is itself is weakness. Okay, so you can talk about data privacy, the regulatory landscape is evolving, etc. So they have given answer as a refer para number 7.3. Yes, students, I hope it's fine. So in this RPA is something what you can leave, but other things still it is not come for the exam. Yes, you can prepare for the other elements. Now before that, just let us go through one more thing, because if you go back to the end of the study material, they have given something called Annexure 1. Now what is that Annexure 1? Just we'll go, because in a worst case, till now they have not asked in the exam, but if they ask you, you can easily write it. Okay, you need not read it again, just read, just to see what I am going to show you. If you turn your pages, if you go to the last, they said how RPA can be used to check INDA's internal financial controls and standards on auditing. That means entire audit, how you can automate it. Okay, they have told they have explained. They can apply Ind AS, do the control testing, and comply with the standards on auditing. Now, incorporating standards on auditing, internal financial control over financial reporting, Ind AS, like para-wise details, para-reference, accounting policy, etc. In the audit practices, ensure accurate financial reporting, internal control, reliable procedures. See, today, compliance with Ind AS, compliance with the ICFR, performing audit procedures, these are all humans are doing, article students are doing. How a robot can do this task? So, leveraging RPA in conjunction with this framework can significantly enhance the audit efficiency. RPA developers and auditors should join hands together, because RPA developers knows technology, auditors knows the process. When both the people join hand together, you can develop RPA workflows. That means robots you can do. These robots itself will do the audit for you. They will comply with the Ind AS, they will comply with the standards on auditing, and they will comply with the ICFR. So they have given one specimen at the end of chapter as an nutshell. Now let us go through and see. See, this is what they have given at the end. Columnar presentation of how PP can be verified, what configuration you can make for them, what is internal controls and audit procedure. Okay, so they start with the para number 6 of what? Ind AS 16. Now, what does para 6 says? It is going to define PP. Okay, I will present it like this, friends, for your information. So, para 6 speaks about definition. So, tomorrow, if in a worst case they ask you, okay, how can you develop a robot which can comply with Ind AS, ICFR, audit procedure? Just see this. Very easy. You easily can write it. You don't need to study it again. I'm telling you, forget it. Just listen to me what I'm explaining. After some time, you will only understand, though, this is very easy. But when they gave you in this format, no, it becomes very tricky, students. And they can be one examination question they can ask from anywhere. So they may be expecting you to write anything, but how they are connected, just understand. So first of all, write a para number. You pick any para and say definition. Now, what do you mean by PP? So PPs are tangible assets held for use in the production supply, and they are expected to be more than one period. Is it not coming from Ind AS 16? It's an Ind AS 16 answer. Then what data to be captured? Because now RPA has to capture the data. Whenever any expense or cash outflow happen, it should think, can I consider it as an capex? So relevant data to be captured is identify all the items and their cost. So the robot only has to identify. What is the calculation they need to make? They need to apply the recognition criteria and the measurement principles as per Ind AS 16. Then presentation and financial, disclose all the PP, carrying amount and depreciation, like book value minus depreciation, and disclose useful life, impairment, losses, etc. ICFR, have the internal controls over identification, recognition, measurement, depreciation, impairment, etc. And audit procedure is to verify the existence, ownership, that means assertion of PP. How? By watching analytical procedures, inspection. The same thing they have given. What is your para 7? Recognition. So you need to recognize the item when you have got the future economic benefits and the cost can be measured reliably. What data to be captured? You need to capture, is the future economic benefits available and what is the cost? What to be the calculation? Apply the cost model or revaluation model for subsequent measurement. How to be presented? It should be disclosure, the basis of recognition and a measurement, like are you using cost model or revaluation model? ICFR, establish the control over the probability of the future economic benefits and its cost. So if you just remember this, you can just repeat it everywhere. So you have got a recognition, then your robot should identify the data, do the calculations, present the information. Identify the relevant controls, and audit procedure includes verification of the recognition criteria and measurement by inspection, confirmation, watching, analytical procedure. That's it. So that para becomes important, like measurement. What your Ind AS 16 says, you should measure the PP at a cash price equivalent. If the payment is deferred, you may have to remove that financial portion. You have to find out the present value of the future payment. So what is the data? cash price equivalent or present value of the data. What you need to make the calculation? Calculate the present value. How you should present? Cash price equivalent should be presented or present value of the future cash flow should be presented. Find out the relevant control for cash price or present value. Audit procedure. Find out the cash price and present value by inspection, confirmation, watching, analytical procedure. That's why even now I was thinking, what is this they have given? But after when I plotted this like this, no, it looks very simple. Directly attributable cost, bring your knowledge of Ind AS. What does your attributable cost says? Only attributable cost has to be given, and which is not attributable you should exclude. So what is the data? Identify which is attributable, which is not attributable. If it is the calculations, attributable you allocate, non-attributable you exclude. Presentation, attributable, add it in the item of PP. ICFR, identify the controls. How to allocate the directly attributable cost. Audit procedure, attributable, non-attributable, inspection, confirmation, watching, etc. Yeah, I think it's fine, no students, because I need, okay, borrowing cost. Borrowing cost, which is a qualifying asset, has to be capitalized as per 23. Relevant data, borrowing cost has to be captured. Calculate the borrowing cost which needs to be capitalized. Disclose that borrowing cost. Establish internal control for identification and allocation. And verify whether the borrowing cost capitalized is proper or not by inspection, confirmation, analytical procedure, watching. So like this, trade discount and your cost of self-constructed asset and your depreciation. So all these paras are tortured. Simply it is taking time. Okay, I don't think so I should read this. Okay, you can read it once, disposal of PP, and just you realize that there is a pattern in which it is given. The pattern is like this. What they are trying to tell? A bot specialist plus auditor can join hands together and they can automate the audit process. Like the bot itself will see whether the item of asset can be recognized. Have they recognized? Is it properly presented? Is the controls over that it's working or not? Okay, it can verify some documents, verification, and it can make one documentation of what it has done. So they have given some paras here, what you can. So I'll skip it. Okay, so I hope you got a pattern. You understand it. You please read. I have shared the material. Once you read, you understand the pattern. So maybe any one item you can pick and practice properly. Now, what is your control considerations or objectives of auditing digitally? Now, emerging technologies can bring great benefits, but also come with the great risks also. So, what is your control consideration now? Because we are talking about emerging technology, where in audit, what all those? CAT, data analytics, Internet of Things, blockchain, AI, RPA. Now, these all the things bring great benefit for the auditor, but they also comes with the risk. So the moment risk comes, you need to ask one question: what control the auditor should consider now? The strength of auditing profession lies in the assessment of the risks and the controls. Okay. So the control consideration for emerging risk from the emerging technology, or assessing the technology risk of emerging technology. See, don't get confusions. Okay, because similar risk and all we are speaking earlier also. Here we are talking about the risk from emerging technology. First, auditors should have a holistic understanding of changes in the industry and the information technology environment. Like what is happening? Slowly the organization is shifting. Okay, technologies are shifting. So that is what whole understanding you need to have. You cannot see things in isolation. Effectively evaluate the process of how the organizations are like initiating the transaction, processing, recording, because it could have completely automated. Now in this process, consider the risk from the new technologies, because this can differ from the old systems. Like when you bring blockchain technology, the risk with the blockchain technology need not be same with like SAP. SAP is also an ERP package. Now you have to consider that and consider upskilling or introducing specialists in the company for your audit purpose. Some examples of technology risks where the auditor should test the appropriate control is reliance on systems or programs that is inaccurately processing data. Now, this is very similar to your essay 315 students. 315 also comes the same thing. Reliance on the systems or programs inaccurately processing data or processing of the inaccurate data. Someone can have unauthorized access to the data that may result in destruction of loss, unauthorized, non-existing. Do you see types of IT risk? Same, no? Same content. So these are all the examples of technology risk or types of IT risk. The possibility of information personnel gaining access privileges beyond what is necessary, unauthorized changes to the master file, changes to the programs, failure to make necessary changes. You remember I gave the GST example. Inappropriate manual intervention. You remember I told you that more than PO value, vendor is automatically blocked, but the person goes and changes it. Potential loss of data, risk by the third party service providers, and cyber security risks. So these are all the different types of cyber security, different types of IT risk. Again, they have repeated it, same content. So you can call it as a types of risk or examples of technology risk. Now we will see one test your knowledge 8 question. Now emerging technologies can bring the benefit, but they can also bring risk. Give some examples of risk and the control considerations. Now Gravity is a mid-sized company. They are planning to implement a new system to streamline its production. The company appointed Ravi as the IT manager. However, he is aware that the merging technologies can bring, okay, see, merging it seems. Actually, it is emerging. See, print mistake. So you may have to make interpretation that they must be talking about emerging technologies can bring significant benefit, but also brings various losses. He needs to identify the examples of technological risks associated with the implementation of digital system and control consideration. So what all those? So what all those IT related risk and their internal control. So you are going to say these are all the examples of technology risk. That's why this is the same thing has been discussed in 315 also. Then the strength of auditing profession. What is your control consideration? Holistic understanding, upskilling, and consider the risk from the implementation of the new technology. These are all your control considerations. So they said answer key, refer para number 8. They mark the question on key steps of audit changing technology. Okay, yeah, you can just read my comments. Huh? Yes. Now, key steps for auditor in changing the technology environment. So what should be the steps for auditors in a changing environment? Okay, if the client is changing, maintain skepticism, understand direct and indirect effect of new technology and how it is being used for the impacting overall risk assessment, how technology impact the flow of transaction. Yeah, I think this is also very similar students. You can also write the same thing. Key areas of understanding. See, understand the flow of transactions, assess the appropriate management process to develop, operate, maintain the controls, like whether the organization, how the controls are designed, how the systems are designed. So these are all the, I think, very similar point. And maintain skepticism. Okay, let us see one question. Then you may probably understand. Let us try to understand what type of question they can ask here. Sanket has been appointed as an auditor of a rapidly growing tech company which introduced a range of new digital technologies to enhance its operations. They include robotics, AI, blockchain, etc. He seeks guidance how to effectively conduct an audit in technologically advanced environment. Explain what key steps auditor in a changing technology environment. See, specifically they are asking this keyword, key steps for auditors in changing environment. Even though answer is very similar to key areas auditor should focus. Yes, please practice this. Please give this as a priority one. I have already given it. Yeah, because these are all the small things, students. They are irritating things. Similar things we have already discussed. Again, they say that, okay, key steps for changing environment. And the chances are very high that these keywords are given in the exam as it is. Skepticism, direct and indirect effect, flow of transaction, management response. Now, KM Industries is a mid-sized company, recently undergone major digital transformation, fully automated production system, blockchain, etc. They will be introduced from 24-25. Management believe technology will reduce the error, have revised the risk assessment accordingly. As an auditor, what steps would you take to evaluate the impact of technology changes on the company's internal control and financial reporting? Yes, so key steps are same. Skepticism, effect, direct and indirect effect, impact on such technology, understand the technological impact and assess the management processes, appropriateness of the management processes. Okay, so I hope it's fine, friends. And now we can move to the last concept of this particular topic. So first topic is your digital audit, second topic is your risk assessment, third topic is your emerging technology, and fourth topic is your next generation audit. Okay, next generation audit, here they said all imaginative. That means, see, in topic number 3 or concept 3, they are talking what is happening right now. Okay, they are taking, like auditors are using RPA, Internet of Things, they are using dashboards, visualizations. But next generation audit is something like imaginary. Okay, very easy, not that difficult. We can quickly complete also. So how the future of audit will look like, say 5 or 10 years from now? It will be human-led, but tech-powered and data-driven. Now, it is based on combining all the emerging technologies to redefine how the audits will be performed. Definitely, students. So, audit it will become unrecognizable because technologies are changing rapidly in such a way you can see automation everywhere. So, what is that it's going to aim next generation audit? Say from sampling to 100% analysis, multiple data sets, one single data set, disconnected tools to interconnected tools, manual risk assessment to automatic data driven dynamic risk assessment. Who is doing? Tools only doing. You are not doing anything. You are only leading it. All technologies will do. So there will be, Mark Zuckerberg told there will be more robots than humans. Which robots? AI robots. They will be doing all this stuff. Separate communication to embedded communication. That means individual, like whenever you have to communicate something, along with the process only that communication happens. Repetitive task, high value work and capacity growth. Manual work will be converted into automation, ad hoc insights or insights from the broader audit. So this is where you are going to transform. We live in an era of fast technological process where you may have new tools like 3D printing. Okay, so what is 3D printing, students? I'll just show you. Okay, you need to have an understanding. It is like a printer only. See, today whatever printers you have, what it is 2D printers. So what it will do? It will print only height and the width. Okay, length and the height. Okay, it will not measure the third dimension. So any photo you may print, it will be only 2D. So what happens in the 3D? See, in 3D, you can print anything. Like for example, I'll just show you. You can also type in Google. See, anything you can print. See, these are all the items which are printed. You can print a doll, you can print one hollow block, you can print a ship, you can print the component, you can print the human face, you can print. See, it's a printer. It is precisely printing. See, whatever today we are having some mold and all. See, tomorrow a printer is going to print it. You feed it with the raw material, so it can print like anything it can print up. See, these are all the things which is printed. See, even this is 3D printed. That means all the small components it will print and you have to just go and assemble it. It can print a computer. Okay, it can print a human skull. Anything it can print. Okay, then we have got augmented reality, virtual reality, biotechnology. Okay, this Elon Musk is telling one chip inside our brain and all. Auditing through drones, it's called unmanned aerial vehicle, quantum technology. Okay, they are all developing. So we will discuss one by one. 3D printing they didn't discuss, but other things we will discuss. Now, drone technology. So how a drone technology can be used? Today, drones are there everywhere. So using drone technology in remote location for stock counts. So why you are going for stock counts? Send your drone, right? Every stock has got a barcode on it. So drone can simply move and scan the every barcodes instantly. It can do the photograph and physical examination. Now whatever it is going to capture, it's going to send this information back to the computer. With the various alternative sources of information like QR code readers, etc., it can compute QR code reading, it can do manual counting, it can do. See, what work will take 2 to 3 days with say 50 or 60 people, a single drone can do it in one day. This is what we are going to witness in upcoming years. So enhance the execution speed and correctness and completeness of the data. So this is one of the next generation audit where you are going to, auditor is going to use the drones. I don't think so. Currently, none of the audit firms must have using. But yeah, in upcoming days, this can be possible. You may buy some drones. Today, we are buying drones just to take the photographs for our personal enjoyment. But tomorrow, we may use these drones in our audit process also. Now, what is the augmented reality? See, this is augmented reality. Augment means make it complete, greater, make it real. So, this technology allows the users to view the real world. That means world is real. But by adding, or you are making it something more complete by generated by digital devices. Like for example, see, you must be seeing, no? So you want to buy a sunglass. No, you don't know. Previously, what you used to do, you used to pick and wear and see. Today, you are buying online. You don't know how you may it look like. See, this is one of the service where you can just put your photo and you can see different design, how it suits you, instead of you wearing and standing in front of a mirror. See, in an augmented reality, you can see that real place, but dummy players, digital players. So they will go hide. So this is what you can see. So augmented reality is something which is going to happen. That means real environment, and you can create something like a training document, or you can do some simulations. Okay, you can say do the simulations and see how it's going to happen. Now, virtual reality. Virtual means non-existence, fake. In augmented reality, there is something real. Your client is real. Client's locations are real. So what you can do, you can create one simulation so that people can go and do the audit. They can train them in audit. They need not physically go there. And we can see then like how they react, how they do. Now in virtual reality, it replaces the real world entirely with the simulated environment created through digitally generated images, sounds, touch, smell, etc. Like flight. See, you need not run the flight, but it will simulate. Okay, it will give you all the feels of running the flight and the measurements, everything. It is perfect. That's called a virtual reality. In virtual, there is no real. In augmented reality, there is something real world. See, this is I am real. What was that not real, or what was the digital? This text frame was not real, but it gave me a clear picture how the reality will look like after some time. In the virtual reality, you may be wearing one headset. Okay, you must have gone to the super small and all. They will give you one gun. Say you see that there are so many. You can train the people with the virtual reality because they will create one simulated environment. Now, examples of augmented and virtual reality, like for example, in architecture and engineering business. So what I can do, instead of preparing a drawing and showing you drawing, because you will not be able to comprehend, how come you see your building before it is built only? They will show you, look, this is how it looks like. So businesses are going to use augmented and virtual reality. In the business sector, they will help you to allow the product to be previewed or customized. Like I just showed you. See, this is the preview of the product, how it will look, this particular type of frame on my eyes. Now, in the health sector, surgeons with the additional information, when operating on the patient, such heartbeat, blood pressure, monitoring, etc., they can provide surgeons with additional information. Okay, then they can simulate it. What if the heartbeat is going to increase by so much? Now, one virtual reality is going to happen there. That means heartbeat is not really increased. They can try to simulate, okay, what is going to happen? Vision Pro is essentially an augmented reality headset that seamlessly blends the real and digital worlds. The device can switch between augmented and virtual reality using a dial. Okay, something like this is called a Vision Pro. So it will always shift between augmented and reality. Purandar Dasa and all other people told the word is Maya, and tomorrow we may not be able to understand which is real, which is augmented. We may really land up in such a situation, complete Maya, whatever. Now the next is your metaverse. Metaverse is where you can have a digital meeting. Like, see students, today you are seeing me like a 2D. See, you can see me in Zoom, but it's just a 2D. In the metaverse, what happened? No, you feel as if in the English movies and all they show. No, you feel as if I'm sitting in front of you. You can see my 3D space. That means you can wear some glass and as if I'm talking to you. Beautiful, no? Imagine if I can create my avatar and make to AI avatar and make to talk to individual people. That means I'm talking to you. I'm clarifying your doubts. Fantastic, right? Can you imagine those days? That means I will become like God, omnipresent. I can talk to 100 people at the same time and I'm talking to them as if I'm sitting in front of them. Such a personal conversations I can have. Any doubts you ask me, instantly I will clarify because I'm connected to LLM model of AI. So this will allow the people to have life-like personal and business experiences online. And that day, your airline industry is going to go for a toss. Because people won't travel. Why people will travel? What the transport companies are going to do? I don't know. Because then, ultimately, why you're traveling? Because you want to sit face to face. If that face to face experience you can get, exactly, very lifelike, then we don't know. So people can interact with the digital avatar. But tomorrow's metaverse will feel more interconnected than ever. That means auditors need not go to the client location. Switch on that. They go to the studio, switch on this. Okay. They are in front of the client and they are talking to the clients in a real time. Beautiful. See, like this. This is all the avatar. Okay. This is simply, but this can be look like very real. You can see me only. So we are heading towards mature landscape where we will have a transferable identities. That means my online identity should be verifiable and can be across different digital platforms without re-verifying. Because tomorrow we may not be knowing whom we are speaking. So I can have my digital identity. Okay, just like I have got a physical identity. What is that? I have got an Aadhaar card. That's to prove that I am so and so. Tomorrow I may have to have another Aadhaar card for digital identity. Because with this card, I may enter, I may talk to someone, I can validate myself. Assets will be enabled by the blockchain NFTs because they become very interoperable. So the moment I want a car, I will just buy the car. I will transfer you bitcoins. I got that NFT in my hand, so I can start driving it. No much formalities. It can be highly automated systems, immersive interfaces, hyper-connected networks. So some considerations for the future, like Metaverse will need to consider how to build the digital monetary systems like digital land. Okay, one of the consideration they need to have. So whenever you are bringing this metaverse, because you are making a forest easy to talk, but how do you bring that see, today when I'm sitting face to face, I have got cash in my purse, I have got in mobile, and immediately I will transfer. But tomorrow, how that is going to happen? Now, what should be the governance model? It is going to become very difficult because I am talking to someone sitting in USA. Now, today, if I have to do that, I may have to comply with certain requirements. But tomorrow, how governance is going to happen? That has to evolve. Identity in the digital world historically been different. Okay, now you may have to go through this KYC. Synchronicity is the ability of the aspect of the multiplayer simultaneous and real time. That means, see, students, there should not be any what is that called lag and all. When I am talking to you, instantly I get updated here, and when I talk to someone, they get updated. So there should be simultaneous real time synchronization. This includes transactions, actions happening in the metaverse and are dependent on the infrastructure, digital economies, network computing, etc. Okay, so now they have given you some case studies. Virtual illustrate the potential applications of the metaverse. Virtual banking and transactions. So what can happen? So see, this is all forward thinking, future thinking. A forward thinking financial institution establishes presence in the metaverse. Okay, how do they do? they will offer you virtual banking service. You can create a virtual banks, assess the personalized product, perform transactions using virtual currencies. That means you can talk in a real time, you can do the fund transfer, your voice will be captured, seamless fund transfers are going to happen, you can purchase anything. So you need not go and click the buttons, download, go to add to cart. You just see this and say buy it. Okay, it is in your hand now. So such type of things can happen. So XYZ Bank leverages the metaverse to provide convenient and interactive banking experience. So you say, okay, I want the customer service. Automatically, one customer service hologram comes in front of you and says, tell me what you want. So they are giving a very tech-savvy customer service, okay, who can value digital innovation. Now, digital asset management. Now, digital asset management company recognizing growing popularity of the virtual assets. So they launch virtual asset trading platform in the metaverse so that people can buy, sell NFTs. Virtual asset is that NFT, non-fungible tokens. Now, Crypto Investment Limited leverages the metaverse decentralized secure system, facilitate transparent and efficient virtual asset transfer of transaction of virtual assets. Virtual financial and education and training. There is a finance learning academy, enhance the literacy using metaverse. They will create virtual classroom environment and can attend interactive financial education session. Students also can engage in simulated activities. They can do budgeting, planning. Okay, they can have hands-on experience. See, till now they have not asked any questions, but anyhow, one round of reading is sufficient, students. I don't know what type of questions also they are going to ask. Virtual meeting. Organization host a virtual conference, participants across the world. So that means tomorrow, I don't know if virtual meetings can happen, virtual conference can happen. What is going to happen to so many conference halls, marriage halls? Okay, tomorrow virtual marriage also can happen. I will invite all the people into this virtual bit. The moment you get that real life like feeling, you need not travel. So they can attend the keynote speeches, networking events, interact with the industry experts, etc. Data visualization and analytics. Advanced data visualization and analytics tool. Okay, they can visualize complex financial data in an interactive, immersive 3D environment. Users can explore data, trends, conduct simulations, analyze the financial performance. Okay, so there is one company called Analytics Solutions. Okay, all fake companies leverages the metaverse immense capacity to make the decision making and to get the greater insight. That means you click a button, you got the insights. Now, what are the common risks associated with the future technologies? One, public safety, cyber security, data privacy, protection, lack of standards, technical challenges will be the different. And again, taxation and jurisdiction. You have purchased a car. That person belongs to somewhere else. Okay, how the GST will be applicable here? So again, your tax rules also have to change. Just now in 2017 only came. Again, it may have to revise. So this is what we see, students. See, from 1961 Income Tax Act in 2025 got revised, but in upcoming years that revision will be much faster because we have to cope up with the technology. Space is becoming less and less. Okay, let us see what type of question they have asked here. This is test your knowledge 9. Now give examples of emerging technologies. Yes, very easy. Drone, augmented reality, virtual reality. You can give the examples. Virtual financial education, metaverse, virtual meeting. Okay, so these are all considered as a future technology only. See, from this we came to know what is that they are trying to tell here. See, simply they said one illustrate the potential applications. Okay, but you can consider it as a future. Okay, metaverse, different examples. Okay, wherever this metaverse, no, you can consider the application part of this. Application part of this virtual meeting, virtual conference, applications of metaverse. So tomorrow they can ask you what is metaverse and give me some examples of application. So you can say financial education and training, virtual meetings and conferences, virtual analytics, banking services. So this is what you can tell. Now, what are the common risks? Public safety, cyber security, privacy, movements, massive amounts of data is getting generated, taxation, jurisdiction, etc. Now, one question they have asked in the examination: metaverse is the emerging 3D digital space which use virtual reality, augmented reality, and other technology to have lifelike personal business experience online. It represents a convergence of digital technology to combine cryptocurrency. That means just the para only they cut paste here. You see here. What is metaverse? They have told. See, this thing only they have told you. Now, state the key consideration for sustainable future metaverse. Now, consideration for sustainable future metaverse beyond cryptocurrencies. Now, where is the answer? Have you seen this answer in the study material? See, where is the answer? Where they told, let us see, bring opportunities, explore. They are expected to identify the right balance between cost and benefit, like how technology is integrated, how it is governed, how they are controlled. The auditors are not expected to be expert, but you need to understand the technology architecture, control framework, and integration with the business. See, they didn't tell you anywhere, but they asked you what should be your consideration for sustainable future metaverse. See, this type of questions you should leave. Maybe at the end you should be telling something on your own, because I don't see anything related to this has been given somewhere. So what is that you are going to tell? Beyond cryptocurrencies, coins, exchange players, metaverse will need to consider how to build monetary systems. So just now we had come across. There was no considerations for the future. Yes. See, from here they gave some considerations for the future. Sustainable future for metaverse. Monetary system, governance models, identity in the digital world, synchronicity. But very tough to remember this particular point out of so many things. Anyhow, but it was a very direct question they had asked. In fact, the key consideration for sustainable future considerations for metaverse. So these were the points. Okay, you can exclude this because they have already asked, and you understand that these are all the examples. Okay, at the end, what they are concluding, auditor need not be an expert in technology, but you should understand the technology architecture, like how it is designed, what is the control framework, NIST, COSO, etc., and how the technology is being integrated with the business. That's why students, they have brought subjects like IBS. In advanced ITD also, what is that they are doing? They have brought topics like integrated case studies. Because you need to understand that integrations, you need to understand the technology architecture. That's it. You need not be that technology expert. You should be a domain expert. You should know how to do audit. But your environment has changed. You should be knowing what technologies are getting used today, how you can use those technologies. That's it. So thank you very much. This was a nice topic. I hope you have understood. So please make your preparations there, because some of the questions had already come for the exam. Some you can exclude. So I hope you must have got the flow.